time on board, efficiency getting on and off the dock, and also efficiency with diesel motors as opposed to the outboards in terms of range and speed. If that's your thing, you guys might be interested in the Schaefer V44 with diesel IPS. So ladies and gents, we're in Brazil. We're in beautiful, actually almost in Florianopolis. We're on a tiki bar if you can't tell. And today we're going to do a little bit of a walkthrough. So come with me. This is exactly what you do with an open transom as opposed to outboards. You do this on the back of your tiki bar or your boat or your luxury house, whatever your vibes are. If you want more space out on the transom here, that's what's possible. And I know all of you guys in Europe, you really value this. So in this video today, we're going to be doing a detailed tour on this new design, which I think is going to be super, super popular in Europe and other parts of the world. We've got some different things going on out the transom here, which are now available to you. And then at the end of this video, we're going to be going for a drive. It was not even 12 months ago when I was in this kind of very location. I was just over there actually filming hull number 1 of the V44. We are now on hull number 24. So it's been quite the success. And I already knew that because all you guys have been writing to me from all around the world, which is great. And I love hearing from you all and answering your questions whenever I get the chance. So we are sort of a little bit short on time. So this is going to be a rock and roll kind of tour, but we'll get straight into it and we'll drop these wings as soon as we have had a chance to drop the anchor. But I'll explain to you what is going on out here on the transom first, because this is the biggest difference as opposed to what was on the last boat. We had triple V10 400s. You can now get this with triple V12 600s. I'm losing my words. So you can do triple 600s or triple 400 Mercury outboards. You can also do the IPS 600s or 650s. And there's also a stern drive option. So you do you wherever you are in the world, and Schaefer can follow. The weight and balance is noticeable. It feels more yacht-like as opposed to the aggressiveness of the outboards. But out the back here, we've got a traditional hydraulic drop-down swim platform. So you can see we've got the step ladder just here. This deploys when the platform is in the water. And we also have a swim ladder just over on this side if you don't want to deploy it. So that's a 4-step telescopic swim ladder, but it just protrudes out the side, and when it's not in use it retracts, because the first one you may have seen on my first video, it actually stuck out a little bit, which would be a problem if you have a little whoopsie at the dock because you'd take the ladder off. So that's been amended on these models. Now, for so many of you guys in Europe, I know stepping off the transom is just one concern, because many of you are actually having to get off onto a high dock situation because you've got these fixed docks, you're doing the Mediterranean style mooring. So what they also have is a really, really stylish solution, and it allows you to raise the platform, and you kind of have some stairs and you're up at about this level and you can step off onto the dock that way. When it's deployed in the water, and this will also hold tender chocks and a small tender should you need it, it actually deploys in the form of a couple of lovely stairs. So it's really got super yacht vibes when you're looking at it from the transom, even more so when you drop the wings, which we're going to have a look at in a second, because I think overall, a bang for buck, and also for the amount of usable space we have on this 44-foot boat, you're really getting a lot of benefits when you drop these wings down, which we're going to do in a second. I might come over on this side so you guys can appreciate this beautiful background. Brazil, I'm saying this in every video I'm filming this week, you have to get here. Actually, if you're in America and you're doing a test drive, or you have a test drive booked, I would actually just come to Brazil and do it, because this place is so incredibly beautiful and it's so much fun, and it's also, got all the infrastructure you need for some good, fun boating. Anyway, Sun lounge in this setup is suitable for a bunch of people, but as you may or may not notice, these can be adjusted forward and back, and they will also turn into a headrest if you want to lie down. Good, high quality, cross-stitched, that's all fun. This will open electrically, so you can stow all of your fenders and lines underneath the sun lounge, and it's also access into the engine hatch. So we have a button that we press to get access into the engine hatch, and another button just here, and we also operate the swim platform via this button just over on this side on the starboard side. We've got some drink holders, you can throw some phones just here on either side. We actually have storage for safety rails on these wings. You know what I'm going to do? I'm actually just going to start dropping them. Boom. I like that safety, audio safety when you're dropping the wing, because I wouldn't want any kids to be hanging around here with their fingers or toes. That would be a drama. So I think that's a sensible feature. Just keep people out of the way when this is happening. And that's how long it takes. Boom. And so you can put the safeties in here and protect this area if people are having a party, you don't want them to fall in, and those rails are stowed in here. We actually have extra storage for bits and pieces, perhaps lines here, because fenders will go quite well over there, and we can also get in and underneath these seats quite easily because they're all hinged, okay? So they'll all go up quite easily on a hinge, and it's a great place for your safety gear, and you can manipulate these angles to make them comfy for you should you wish. We can also manipulate these ones forward and back, and I'd suggest you are going to do that at times when you're going fast, because this is going to be a nice comfortable area to have some protection from the wind. The further you get out to the sides, it is a fast boat, so you will get some wind vortices through here, except for these people on the front seats who are going to be completely protected. So just think about that depending on where you are in the world. We do have some storage underneath these seats. We can get into them. I'm pretty sure it's from this angle, as you can see, just there. So quite deep, giving you lots of options should you need. But I think one of the best things about this boat is actually the sun protection. You can be in the sun as much as you want over here, or out of the sun underneath this roof, because from here forward, it's fantastic. So we might just get Marcio to drop this wing when he's ready. In terms of this sun protection just here, it's full beam. So we can be out of the rain, out of the sun, and 1, 2, 3, 4 meters, full beam. We've got a grab hold just here that's adding some rigidity to the roof now. We've got some mood lights underneath here, and we've got a drop down TV which manipulates this way and faces aft, so everyone can watch the sports should they wish. Come on in and let's have a look at the minibar on the central part of the boat. So this is a bit kind of the heart of the boat. Not only do we have fixed protection here, we also have an electric shore shade which we can do with a remote control, and that extends aft so you can completely stay out of the sun should you wish. And we can also do more shade forward. That's an option via some mesh screens with poles. Obviously this table doubles up. I'm sure you've all seen this before. And I'd say there is an option to turn that into a drop down with a cushion should you wish. So storage on the side, Barbie just on the port side, deep chest fridge in the middle, and then we have a sink on the starboard side, drink holders just there, and we have an ice maker in here, and then a fridge just in here, another one downstairs, and then we've got glassware storage just there. So it's all kind of focused on the center of the boat, and that allows you to do kind of the day boating vibe, which is the whole point of this boat. And then all the way over here on the starboard side is a deep bin with space for rubbish bags as well. We've got this soft cross stitch, looks nice, not overly done, quite stylish. That's all the way around the boat. And then on the mid section, just here, when you are boarding, that's your step there, and that's your handhold. And then you've got your foot pad just here, and good reach for the midships cleat just here. So come on forward, let's check out the helm and I don't speak Portuguese. This is the problem when dealing with captains in other countries. I'm trying to ask him to put down the wing, but I don't know how to say it, so we'll just keep rolling with this. It's all part of the fun. Anyway, we have an electric roof just here for natural air ventilation, and it's not glass. I like how it's been done with fiberglass because we've got full-on sun protection. We've got our speakers dotted all the way around the top. I think it's about a 10 speaker stereo system. You can choose JL audio or the other one, and actually I might just boom open that for you. See how quick that is? That's a really, really good setup when you want to open yourself up and have a bit of fun. But come and have a look at these bucket seats. Really good design, and they've now incorporated these seats on the new V34, which is also featuring this roof design, should you wish. But you can put them up like so. You actually have grab handles like that, and then this makes it comfortable for you to lean and drive like so, or fold that down and then do a bit of long driving. So that's all quite comfortable. It is a really enjoyable boat to drive, and you do notice the difference with the IPS versus the outboards. It behaves differently, it accelerates differently, and it feels more yacht-like. The vibrations, the speed, the acceleration, and even how she banks into a turn is all different to the outboard power. So do consult with your dealer or write to me on Connect, depending on what you're trying to achieve, because it does feel, actually, for some reason, it feels more like a big boat when you're driving the IPS as opposed to the outboard power. Anyway, come over here. This one's in English, so I can actually read it out to you. Bilge hatch just here. We've got the engine ignition, start stops, electronic throttles, bilge pump, exhaust, Lenco trim tabs, air conditioning. We've got the twin multifunctional displays, so you can put whatever you like on those. Because we are the IPS, we've got the joystick available to us. You can also do that on the Mercury outboards via a different system. Anchor operation can be done from here and also up at the helm. We've got the wiper, the horn, the winch, the holding tank, all of the lights, and then the ambient lights just here. And then we have some drink holders and phone holders with charging point just here. Then we've got our stereo, another air conditioning, VHF, and we actually have 2 footrests here for when you're standing and there for when you're sitting. So it makes it pretty comfortable, and the subwoofer is underneath the driver in this box, so it's going to make it boom a little bit louder for the skipper. Anyway, that's fire extinguisher. This is for a safety. Actually, I like incorporating this. So it's a safety lifebuoy, so a lifebuoy ring that you can chuck into the ocean if someone goes in the drink. And you know what? I reckon in a place like this, that probably happens from time to time, because there's a lot of drinking and boating that I've noticed in this part of the world. So if you did have one of your mates go in the drink, you could throw that in and rescue them pretty quickly. I'd say another fire extinguisher location or bits and pieces just there. And I think I mentioned the storage on that side as well. Come forward. Midships cleats, aft cleats, and forward cleats are all drop down, easily accessible. We still have this same step on this side, and I like how they've incorporated a courtesy light for nighttime. Those courtesy lights are going forward and aft. And then in terms of access, all we're doing is going up 1 step. So from a safety and operational perspective, you just go boom. That's it, because I know quite a few people who are a little bit older are actually buying boats like this to still keep your kids and grandkids interested in the beach house or the summer house, which I think is a wonderful idea. I wish I had grandparents like that. So you can stow items, boat hooks, fishing rods, whatever you like in here. That makes the boat a little bit more practical for some of you. I love these straps here because that makes life a little bit more stress-free when you're wanting to go fast, because the leading edge is done by a zipper, and then the main cushions, even at a high speed, are not going to go anywhere because they are held down by these straps. And then we've got the headrest just here, drink holders there and there, and actually these stainless steel bases, you can see another one just there, they are for the vertical poles which hold up the sunshade over this whole bow area. So this area can be protected, and then you can lie down, not so much stand, but you can lie down and have a nap in the shade and enjoy yourself. This is the operation of the anchor up and down in the bow, and then you actually just manually operate this one. So you just open this, it's got a gas strut that holds it up, But once you've raised the anchor, the windlass will pull that one up with the force of the windlass, and then you kind of manhandle it back down. Come and have a look into the anchor well. So you've got the chain locker on port with enough of a fall for the chain to not get bunched up and caught, and then on the starboard side you allow some room for extra fenders when you need, but also the anchor system itself fits in there. And the power to the anchor winch is just here, which is super handy. Also got a light, water in for the water tank, so it makes it relatively easy to operate. Yeehaw, these guys are having fun. I wonder what the speed limit is in here. Anyway, obviously not a problem. So bow cleats just here, and we actually have storage for, if you haven't got one of these, get it. These are the best hoses for washing your boat down. We actually have fresh water available to us here in the bow, and that is a great hose because they never kink, so I love them. Underneath here, you may or may not notice, is actually an escape hatch and ventilation. This goes down into the main cabin, but it's openable from, it's most practical to be opened from the inside because you have the cushion over the top. You can remove that cushion if you wish. And then we've got a couple of opening ports here and here for ventilation. We'll check that out in a second. But one of the features of this boat is a continuous windscreen. I'm a big fan of that. You will see a lot of these Mediterranean day boats with split windscreens. That's okay, but it's also a little bit annoying because, you know, in a lot of places it rains, and so that's annoying. But also some of them, depending on how high you are, when you're driving at speed, they will force or encourage a jet of air through the gap. And if you are the wrong height, that jet of air is going to be in your eyes. So you're going to have really dry eyes and cracked lips at the end of a day's boating. So just consider that depending where you are in the world. And also, if you're going to be boating in the off season or mid season, you kind of want protection from the wind because it just gets too damn cold. So windscreen wiper, that's stainless steel. We also have the freshwater wash. Obviously we can mount our instruments, communications up on the roof, flag poles mounted up on the roof. So that's all pretty good. Come down the one step here, and then let's go down into the accommodation. It's just a regular sliding companionway on this one, but the dark colors up here on the dash, and this dark color means that you don't have any reflections into your face, which is good. And then come on down, because this is quite lovely. Come on down, guys. So it's obviously got a little bit of convertibility to this interior. So right now, this is in the lounge mode, and you've got beautiful views through these long fixed hull windows on either side, but we do have blinds. So if you need some privacy, you can actually pull these blinds down here. And these windows, because of the design of the boat, you're letting light in, but you're not letting people see in. So it's, you know, sort of illuminating this area in quite a pleasant fashion. But then we've also got mood lights, we've got down lights, we've got storage, we've got a TV, we've got glassware just here, we've got plenty of storage underneath these seats. And this will also convert into the primary bed. So when you want to use it in the bed function, it's there, and there's a little secret just hidden in here. If we just do this, check this out. So for privacy, you can pull this curtain out, boom, boom. How sensible is that? And like the rare occasion you're ever gonna sleep on this boat with more than 2 people, I think that's nice that they've considered that. Storage in there, we've got charging points, reading lights up on the bed head. So it's all quite cute and functional for 4 people, should you put it in that function. However, I think that's gonna be unlikely for most of you, but let me know in the comments. A lot of you have already written to me about this one in various countries around the world. So plate storage, 2 burner with the fiddles, deep sink, a trash or bin if you're in Australia. This is your other fridge, drawers, microwave, and our power board is in here, and our batteries are actually just up on this part of the boat, so it's nice and within easy reach. You can do all the batteries here, fire up the Jenny, turn on the AC, and that's your main control for the stereo. And this is your 12 volt 240, and that's your remote control to operate the aft sunshade. And then you can do ship to shore just here. And of course we have a lovely head and shower, a separate shower, which is handy because I do see a lot of you guys in Saint-Tropez or places like that using a boat like this for the day. and then going out of an evening, super handy to have these facilities, a proper shower screen, nice vanity, mirror, ventilation, air conditioned, got the European wipe your bum with the tap. What are they called again? Jump in the comments and remind me what these are called. We have them in Thailand as well, I've forgotten the name. They do work. I'm not making fun of them. I have used them myself. So, stairs and then a little panel here giving you some privacy because we've got the same curtain that we saw forward to lock this area up. And I think that's just considerate. A few of you have written to me on the comments just explaining how you value that in various boats. But we've got deep chest storage. These will actually lift up on either side. And then these cushions, there's one on either side, they will actually, with some support, slot in the middle here to turn this into a full beam cabin bed situation should you need it. Obviously it's in the twin singles as we've got it set up right now. So we're mirroring on that side those chest storage. So if you've got some soft boat bags, that's the place to put it. Then we've got charging on either side. We actually have the light switches in the middle, just up on the roof line, so you don't have to get out of bed. And we've even got a little bit of sort of somewhere to put your things, access into the bilge, and I think, oh no, that's right. There's an air conditioning in here because I think it's this one. I remember that in the last boat that I did. This one is just got 2 shelves and that one's got an air conditioning unit in it over there. So it's all pretty cool. And I think, of course, you're probably interested in having a look at the engine bay. So we better do that because that's one of the main differences of this one compared to the last one. So this is one way to get in. You lift that and this is your quick engine hatch access. But I'm going to show you the full top side via the big hatch. Okay, so obviously access and heat expiration is a lot easier with this open. Lots of insulation. That's the forward access, but essentially we've got the IPS 650s in this one. You can also get the 600s. There's your IPS drive units just there. Plenty of overhead access. Firebuoy in the middle, fuel filters aft, hydraulics for the platform aft. We actually have the holding tank behind that power distribution there. Hot water there. Tanks on either side. We have 2 tanks, 2 fillers, one on either side, and then forward of this, on the starboard side, we actually have the gen set. If you had, I can just grab the camera and show you, if you optioned it with a Seakeeper, that would be forward in this, approximately this location, and then under my feet on this platform here, just near the ladder, is where the batteries are for weight distribution. And as I said, it does feel quite elegant when you are driving this boat, and I'm putting that down to moving weight forward as opposed to having it aft. Probably most people won't notice, but I certainly did, and it's a positive feel. It feels very yachty, and I'm going to try and demonstrate that for you in the next video. Okay, Schaefer V44 with inboards. Remember, it's inboards IPS 650, 600s, or you can also get the D6s with the stern drives. And I know, having done a lot of travel this year, that depending on what part of the world you're in, you can see pros and cons for every drive system. So it's nice to have the options. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a wrap up now, then we're going for the drive next. Just going to quickly touch on who's going to get the most value out of owning something like this, which is very clearly luxury day boat people. I think you also could be someone who was even aspiring for a much more expensive luxury day boat. You probably weren't even aspiring. I'm sure you could probably afford it, but you look at this and you go, you know what? It does everything that other Italian boat does, but it's a fraction of the cost, and it actually has more space when I factor in these drop-down wings. So why don't I just get 2 boats, or you do you? I see a little bit of that perhaps happening around the world. If you are wanting to use one of these in the luxury tender operations behind your big boat, you're taking diesel. You can take diesel from the mothership. You can do stern to stern, much easier for boarding guests, and you can set it up with the tow hook operation in the bow to tow it behind the big one. I've already seen one of these with that very hook setup in the factory right now, or earlier this week, I should say. So perfect for that function. And with the midships boarding, with the stern boarding and the Mediterranean style getting on and off at the bow or stern, it's going to be perfect for that function. It can also be a really great weekender. As we saw, the accommodation is flexible, the accommodation is sufficient. So if you are just coming out of a sports yacht or a sports cruiser, but you realise that your boat life involves much more warm weather, day boating, entertaining, out in the sunshine vibes, and you don't need all of that enclosed space that your last boat had, but you still want to overnight with the family, this will do it. And you're gonna feel really cool. So definitely that, and definitely entertainers, so social people. This is all about you. So if you are that way inclined, you are gonna have a great, great time. And this is a memorable boat that will leave you with great memories, I guess is what I'm trying to say. You know, no one's gonna forget. We all forget the days we had typing away at the laptop. No one's going to forget the days they have out with you on one of these boats, and I think that's why we go boating. It's one of the reasons why we go. Design feedback that I like, it's the sun protection. I'm from Australia, we need sun protection. So I love that we can now have the retractable shore shade out the back here. That makes life easy. I love the fixed roof and the amount of sun protection that's built into this design, and that we can go forward and still be out of the weather. The weather protection in general, because that windscreen is giving us sufficient wind protection, and it's making the boat sort of mid-season and all season in some parts of the world, definitely here, definitely in Australia, definitely in southern parts of America. It's going to be an all-season boat. So what do you need to consider if you are buying one of these? Well, it's clearly the engines. So our outboards, the 44400s, are the 600s going to be of value to you? 600s is a lot of power. You know, you can check out my other video where I've already tested the 400s. So unless you just want the biggest outboards around, perhaps not necessary, but you do you. Inboards, consider how many people you're riding with. Are you going to be driving by yourself or with just one or two other people, or are you going to be loading it up with guests all the time? Are you in a part of the world where you might hit sandbanks, so you would prefer stern drives as opposed to IPS? Think about those local conditions that you have to deal with, and then talk to your dealer and try and find the answer as opposed to which one is going to suit you best. And also, are you in a part of the world where you have to nudge up against vertical poles a lot? And do you have a solution for that? Are you in a part of the world with a lot of tide and canals? And do you have a solution for that? There are solutions. You can incorporate a lot of modern joystick technology and just let the boat hold position with quite fast running tide and wind, but you need to option that. So just remember, again, communicate with your dealer. Performance feedback, that's in the next video. Competition that you should perhaps consider, I'm also going to talk about that in the next video. So until then, coming to you from fantastic, wonderful Brazil, do get down here. I shall see you in the next video. Love you lots.